Hey guys, I'm a Gaming Potato, and today we have a new game called Yet Another Zombie Survivors. This game is currently in early access, and I've been playing it a little bit. It's really fun. If you've played games like Vampire Survivors, it's very similar to that. You can see I've been playing a bit. I'm level 44 already. So why don't we jump into a game? So to start, you can pick one of your survivors. I've unlocked a few extra here. Normally you only start with these 3. I'm going to pick the Ghost. He's kind of like a samurai, which is pretty cool. They only have 1 level so far, but they do have a few different game modes you can choose. But for now, we're just going to start in the regular game mode. So I picked the Ghost, which is like a samurai, so I start with the sword, as you can see here. Pretty much everybody else starts with a gun, though. And like I said, if you played Vampire Survivors, it's very similar to that. Basically, we're going to collect gems and level up. And as we level up, you can see here there's different upgrades that our hero can get. So the one I want isn't actually here, so I'm going to re-roll. There it is, Katana. That's the one I want. So all this does is upgrade my basic attack. But the Ghost has a very powerful basic attack, especially once you upgrade it significantly. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. And because he is, I have played a bit of the game. He has leveled up a few times. They have like a meta game progression. And because of that, I've unlocked some extra abilities that he doesn't normally have right from the beginning of the game. And as such, that's why I'm focusing on my melee attack. That's also why he has a significant amount of extra abilities, is because he's already been leveled up quite a bit. And as we progress through the game, there you can see my Katana basic attack now upgrades to a splash attack, which is really nice. So now you can see I can get multiple zombies at once with it, which is really good. We also notice this green arrow down here. That means another survivor has appeared. So I can pick them up. Let's see here. Let's go for the Kunai. Now I can choose to add another survivor here to my team. The medic's really good. But because we're so early game, I don't really need one yet, so I'm going to liberate, which gives me a bunch of money and a level up. Go for the Kunai again. So the money, you can see in my top right corner here, I have some money. And that is a form of meta progression that the game has. So it's a roguelike game. Once you die, you have to restart from the beginning. But the money you collect gives you mastery points that after you've finished the game, you can actually spend on permanent upgrades that last throughout all your runs. We've also got a supply drop here. Let's see what we get. So there's a bunch of different items we can get here. See if we can find something nice. What I'm really looking for is health regen. We got maximum health but negative health regen. I think I'm just going to take this max health upgrade here. But in those supply caches, one of the best upgrades you can get is health upgrades, whether that's lifesteal or they have just a passive life per second that you can gain. And you'll really need that once you hit the late game, like once you're beyond 15 minutes. Because unlike Vampire Survivors, which has 30-minute runs, this only has 20-minute runs, which I actually really like. It allows me to get in a quick game before I move on to something else. Like usually as soon as I get home from work, I really like to just knock out a game or two of this before I move on to, like, say, Satisfactory or Oxygen Not Included or Elden Ring. I've been playing a lot of Elden Ring recently as well, which is really fun. I haven't actually played any of the Dark Souls games before. Here we go. So this is one of our 3rd level melee upgrades. This is a long range attack, but I don't really want that. I'm actually looking for 1,000 cuts. This one is awesome. So this is an upgrade to my standard melee attack. It basically does a 360-degree attack at medium range around me, which is really nice. Now you can see I'm getting tons of kills. So we'll keep upgrading our Kunai, something like that. Not sure how to actually pronounce that word. But we'll go and grab the survivor over here. And we'll go for another Liberate here. Upgrade our 1,000 cuts again. And we'll head over to the supply cache. There we go. Another 1,000 cuts. And supply cache, what do we got? Burger is actually pretty good. Weapon fire rate and movement speed is pretty awesome. And eventually, once you unlock the medic also has a passive ability that gives you passive health per second, which is really nice. But it might take a little bit for you to unlock her. I do like to kind of go solo at it with a single hero for as long as I can to get them upgraded as far as possible. Mainly due to the fact that their not their melee attacks, but like their auto attack, none of their skills. Their auto attack is generally very powerful once you get it fully upgraded. You will probably have to play a couple games before you unlock a hero's full upgrade though. As with the Ghost here, and with all classes, you basically have to you start off with some basic set of abilities that you can level up, but you need to get 5,000 kills with them to unlock the next tier of special abilities they can have or upgrades. And that usually includes a upgrade to their sort of standard auto attack. The tank is another really good hero. I'm actually probably going to pick him up next. But we'll go for another Liberate. Max out Arakanai. Yeah, we're looking really powerful now. We'll get, I think we'll go for Shuriken. You can see I just picked up a magnet there, and it's going to suck in all the extra gems on the map, which is awesome. It's also nice because if you know they have the magnets that drop, you don't really have to worry about grabbing every single gem that drops. As you know, you'll eventually get a magnet and that'll pick everything up for you. This heavy metal, you actually upgrade it a bit later in the game. It's not that great in my opinion because you're not picking up magnets very much. 10% crit chance though, that's huge. Crits are awesome. I'm going to save this magnet here, not actually pick it up right now. And you can tell when some power-ups and health drops and stuff like that appear on the map. As they'll appear as glowing colors in the corner. You can see that blue glowing color in the top right corner there, letting me know that there's a magnet drop on the map here. There's some extra money as well. Oh, just got another magnet. So I'm hoping to get for my next hero the tank. Oh, here's our first boss. The tank is really good after you've got his first 5,000 kill upgrade. I personally recommend starting off with the tank as your first hero. He's really awesome. He's got great AoE, and he's pretty survivable too. And you really want that survivability when you're starting off. But once you unlock his 5,000 kill upgrades, you can get upgrades to his auto attack, which normally is just a shotgun, which isn't very good. And you can upgrade that shotgun into either a minigun or a rocket launcher, both of which are awesome. The rocket launcher has great AoE, and the minigun has a massive rate of fire, and it has a very large clip capacity before it has to do a reload, which is really nice. Because weapons do have to reload fairly often, and you will have quite a bit of downtime because of it. Ooh, more max health. I think I'll go with crit damage for now. I do find though that for the tank, the minigun seems to have higher general DPS. And I do like that the tank, his minigun, and perhaps his rocket launcher too, I haven't really played with the rocket launcher enough yet, but the minigun does seem to focus on bosses, which is really nice. So it'll kind of focus fire on the bosses rather than the regular zombies. And I guess I should mention too, just like Vampire Survivors, this game auto-fires your weapons. So there's no targeting, there's no button pressing or anything like that. Your weapons just auto-fire. And I really like that. We could pick up the medic right now, but I think I'm just going to liberate again. One of the nice things is, if you're able to survive really well, you know, depending on how fast you pick up understanding of the game, and you go for those liberates, all that extra gold drastically increases your meta progression. And the meta progression is really kind of your main focus. You really want to get the money for those meta upgrades. And that really allows you to progress faster through the game. Because they do have other game modes. Crit chance and crit damage, that's awesome. After you beat the game in the regular mode, they unlock an endless mode, which is pretty fun. I've been playing a bit of that. I think I'm going to grab my tank now. So yeah, after you unlock your endless mode, they then have a hard mode that you can unlock. So whereas the regular game is 20 minutes, the hard mode is only a 10-minute game, which is really cool because it's super fast. But it is extremely deadly. I have yet to beat the 10-minute hard mode. So for the tank here, we got a bunch of tank upgrades. We're going to start with his shotgun. And we're going to try and get that all the way to a minigun. You can see it with our money here, we've already got 3 mastery points, which are kind of like upgrade points to spend on our meta progression. And on the left side here, we can see all our cooldowns for our abilities. And I do find in Vampire Survivors, it seems like you have, you know, fairly often you can just kind of stand still and kill everything around you. But in this game, they add quite a few enemies that kind of make that more difficult. Granted, sometimes you can just stand still, especially if you have really good abilities. Like early in the game, if you start off with the tank and you go for his saw blades, you can just kind of stand there as the saw blades kill most of the stuff for you. And same with the ghost and his 1,000 cuts. His 1,000 cuts has a very large radius to kill lots of stuff around you. We will liberate again, continue upgrading our shotgun. Take that boss out really quick. Some more upgrades. So now our shotgun can be upgraded into a pump action shotgun, which makes it a bit better. He can fire more rounds before he has to reload. We also have one of his other abilities, a minefield. Personally, I find that minefield isn't very great. I prefer his saw blade. Oh, there we go, Vampire Survivor. It's a neat little mention there to the game. But this gives us lifesteal, which is awesome, so we're going to take that. That red arrow right here is denoting a boss. Oh, we got the tank boss here. So you kind of have to strafe him. He'll emit an arrow showing where he's going to charge, and you need to strafe that charge. He does deal a lot of damage if he happens to hit you. Sorry about that. That is my phone, which I forgot to silence for my video. Let's go with our pump action shotgun again. And we got another little boss here. These bosses are pretty easy. The tank seems to be the toughest one. Oh, we got a supply crate over here. And another tank. We'll let this tank come to us. Keep upgrading our shotgun. Let's go for a money modifier. There we go, tank is down. We're already at the 10-minute mark. Yeah, I really like the short durations of this game. Vampire Survivors is awesome, but you know, the 30-minute games can get a bit long. The Engineer is also a really good option. He's got awesome AoE as well. I've played a bit of the Huntress, and she has some pretty good AoE, but she doesn't deal very much damage. Here we go, rocket launcher or the minigun. I've been really liking the minigun. Now we're dealing way more damage. We do want to get that minigun upgraded to max though. We're going to focus these bosses just to get try and level up this minigun nice and quick. Nice, another tank. No minigun upgrade, but I think we'll go for Protocol Critical here. Another tank down. Health is still pinned at max. And then there are a lot of temporary upgrades. You can see I have the Lightning Bolt, which is just a speed upgrade. And then you saw the armor there, which is of course an armor upgrade. Grab another speed one here. The really nice temporary buff is the Star, though. The Star is basically an attack speed upgrade, or an attack speed temporary buff. I think my mouse just died. Luckily, that's not really a problem. I believe you don't need the mouse at all to play this game. So we can just continue on with the keyboard. That's pretty lucky. Alright, let's see here. We're gonna go just with our Liberate again. Upgrade our minigun. You can see an extra 25 damage. Yeah, so we're in a pretty good spot to just be able to like sit here and farm. But usually I prefer to just keep moving. Yeah, let's get that final minigun upgrade. Now I want to max out his Saw Blade upgrade, which is really cool. And when you're just starting the game, I recommend picking the tank. But for his first upgrades, because you don't have the minigun or the rocket launcher on a fresh account, I recommend starting off with his Saw Blade upgrade. It deals so much damage and it'll kill a ton of zombies for you. Because his shotgun isn't really that great, but his Saw Blade deals a ton of damage. Oh, there we go, med kit. This is awesome. This is what you want. You want that med kit. That'll really help your late game survival. Alright, let's get the Saw Blade. So you can see, because I have just the first level here, I only have a single Saw Blade. But as I level this up, I'll gain more Saw Blades. And their damage goes up as well. So we'll probably get another Saw Blade here. There we go, now we've got 2 Saw Blades. So eventually we'll have 5 here. And we'll be able to deal a ton of damage. Yeah, the battlefield is definitely starting to get more hectic now. Once we get closer to the end of the map, like probably around the 17-18 minute mark, we're just going to start getting flooded with bosses too. Another supply drop. Let's go with the coffee. Hey, there's our magnet. Another saw blade drone. All of the classes do have AoE, but some of it is better than others. Like I said, the Huntress, I don't really like her AoE. It doesn't deal that much damage. I don't know if I want to grab the medic yet. Well, I mean, I may as well. I'm almost done upgrading the tank with what I want anyways. Yeah, we'll grab our medic. Of course, being a medic, her damage isn't that great, but that's not really what we want her for anyways. We want her for her healing. But I mean, right now we're at max health anyways. The healing isn't that bad, but it can get pretty dicey towards the end. So there we go. PhD, health regen, plus 5 per second. So now we're at 10 health per second, plus we have lifesteal. And I actually have some extra life per second from my mastery, which is part of my meta progression. Oh, there's another boss. So yeah, now we're at the 15-minute mark. So things are getting a little dicey. Looks like we have another supply drop. %3 lifesteal chance. Those boxing gloves are pretty nice too, though. Let's see, lifesteal's at 1.5, health regen's at 20 per second. Yeah. I think our health is probably fine. I'm gonna go with these boxing gloves. Get that saw blade drone. There, now we're at 4. Oh, another survivor. So now that we have 3 survivors, we can't actually get more than 3. So once we pick up this other survivor, it's just going to give us a level up. Yeah, let's get Protocol Critical. That Protocol Critical gives you a short duration where you have increased crit chance, and I believe crit damage as well. Yeah, I can see we're critting like mad right now. All the yellow numbers are crits. Get this boss down. There we go. There is another boss here. When you see those flying locusts, that is a boss summoning those. I think he's just over here somewhere. And I think he is dead. Yeah, we are killing it right now. Extra money is always good. I may as well get another PhD. Get this boss down. Yeah, we're starting to take some damage now. Go with another PhD. We can level that up to 5 times for a 25 health per second bonus. And the main reason we're able to focus on health with our medic is because our ghost deals so much damage, as does our tank. Them both having such high damage allows us to forego a 3rd damage dealer for the medic's health bonuses. So now our health regen is huge. Take out this boss here. There, now we've got max out health regen from our medic. Yeah, now we got like 4 bosses out here, I think. 2 tanks. Can get a little bit dicey with multiple tanks here, trying to keep an eye on their arrow reticles, showing where they're charging. I think we're good on health regen. Let's start upgrading our handgun. Alright, 1 tank down. Alright, we got 1 minute left. I want to take out this tank. And the survivors do have different unlock conditions for how to unlock them. And if you do want to focus on unlocking the ghost, you need boss kills to unlock the ghost. So once you get to this late game stage with all these bosses, you really want to focus fire them down to get those extra kills in for unlocking the ghost. I forget the unlock condition for the medic. I believe the unlock condition for the Huntress is to win the game for the first time. Alright, we pretty much got it. See if we can get another supply crate. We've got 2 supply crates and a survivor. And that is pretty much it. We did it, survived the night. Nice. So this is a screen where you can really learn a lot about what kind of build you want, because you can see the damage your guys did. So of course the Ghost is going to have really high damage because we picked him. He was our starting hero, so he's been around the longest. But you can see his 1000 cuts did almost 1000 DPS. So that's one of his best abilities. His one auto tap dealt more damage than the tank and medic combined did. Then we got our tank here. We can see his minigun also dealt almost 1000 DPS, which is really good. And then the medic, you know, she was there for the healing. So we can see in the healing here, we had 40 health per second and a little bit of lifesteal. But we were generating 135% health, or 138, so it's a 38% health bonus. Had some armor, which gives you damage reduction. A little bit of movement speed. You can see our crit chance was pretty high, as was our crit damage, which is really nice. That's good for taking out bosses. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this page. So yeah, we determined that the 1000 cuts on the Ghost was really good, as was the minigun on the tank. We got 13 training points. How many zombies? 7,000 zombie kills, that's pretty good. So we didn't unlock anything, but we did get a bunch of training points. So this is our meta progression. So we can see here, we have a bunch of different types of upgrades we can get. And the further down the tree you go, the more expensive they become. But, like I said, money is your meta progression. So generally, the first thing you'd want to level up is your universal income here, 50% additional money. That improves the points, that means more points to spend here. Personally, the second one I go with is this role player for 50% extra XP, which means your guys level up faster in the game, which means you have a greater chance of survival, which again means more money as well. Then, generally, once you have these two max, you can kind of go for whatever you want. You know, the health one is pretty good to go with, as is damage. Movement speed's alright as well. And then you can unlock more armor, and then some skills, so ability cooldown or ability damage. Magnet range one isn't too bad either. Increased fire rate. This gives you a chance to just outright dodge attacks at you. This one allows you to banish upgrade options, which is pretty good. Generally, this is something you'd want to pick if you're really trying to like go hardcore at the game, and instead of going for like class upgrades, you just want to pick money. If you banish an upgrade option and you only have 2 out of 3 choices, the third choice will be a money option, so you can just get additional money without making your character stronger. I also love this reroll here. This allows you to reroll, especially your supply drops. If you're looking for that health upgrade, you can re-roll it and hopefully find a health upgrade. Luck Be a Survivor doesn't really say specifically what it does, but it's fairly obvious that it increases your luck. But I haven't seen a lot of what luck is. I assume luck is your crit chance. Potentially luck also increases the rate at which supply drops and survivor drops happen. And there could be rarities in the supply drops as well for the different upgrades you can get. I'm not sure though. And then this one allows you to skip upgrades and just gain XP and money instead. And then the final tier, you need to put a lot of points into the game to actually get to this final tier. But this is a really good one, just passive health regen that drastically increases your survival. And then I've started going into increased crit chance as well. And then last 3 is crit damage, which is also really good. Faster reloads. And invincibility frames. I'm not really too enthralled by this. Like, you get 100 milliseconds of increased invincibility frames. And if you have enough health regen, it doesn't even matter anyways. So this doesn't seem like that great of an upgrade. But I got 13 points, so I think I'm going to put a couple points in here, leave me with 5 points. I could put 4 points in here. I have 1 extra point, which isn't actually enough for any upgrades here. So I'll just carry over this 1 point into my next run. And then, yeah, so we can just go back here. You can see the SWAT is another survivor you can go with. I haven't played him a lot. He's alright. I really focus on the tank as my starting hero. I really liked him. His saw blades are awesome. Also, the engineer is really cool too. He has some really cool special abilities that deal lots of AoE damage. His whole thing is like electricity, so he can AoE lightning on everyone around him, and he can lay down actually lightning turrets as well, which are pretty cool. You got your Huntress, you know, she deals with bows and ranged bow attacks and stuff. And then the medic, I haven't upgraded the medic very much because I usually get her as my last hero. It might actually be interesting to pick her as a starting hero and, you know, see how she does. You can see she's only rank 1 right now. I haven't unlocked any of her upgraded abilities yet. But yeah, that's kind of what I got for this. I thought I would just do sort of like a one-off episode to see what people think of it. I mainly made this video because I just thought this game was awesome. And it, you know, it's still in early access, so it's still not fully developed yet. But I really like the Vampire Survivor style auto bullet hell kind of games. And this is right up that alley, so I thought it was pretty awesome. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoy my content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll have more episodes for you soon. Alright, thanks. Bye.